Hey folks, so it's good to be back with you. And today I want to talk to you about the unfortunate circumstances of little Sophie. For the last few weeks, over social media, primarily TikTok and um, a little bit of YouTube, the tragic case of a young girl from Texas named Sophie has been in the public eye. Now, several creators on TikTok and on YouTube have been campaigning to get this little girl's plight to the right agency so people will pay attention and help her. So the basics of the story are the mother and father separated at some point. The child was living with the father. The mother apparently had shacked up with a boyfriend and wanted to be able to use the child to obtain public assistance to allegedly support a drug habit. Now the little girl had run away and come back to her father's, and Child Protective Services came to remove her from the home, again with representatives from the Frisco, Texas Police Department. The little girl at the time made allegations that the mother's boyfriend was sexually abusing her. The CPS worker basically said, "That's not true, honey, get in the car, we have to go." Again, we all know the issues with CPS. That's a different video altogether. So a social media campaign launched to try to get help for this little girl. As of this date, I'm relieved to say that the county sheriff there and the Frisco Police Department have launched an investigation, and the little girl has been placed in a temporary foster home until this can be worked out and they can figure out the best place for her. Now, what is really important for you to know is what your rights are when that CPS or DHR, whatever your state calls that agency's workers, comes to your door. The first thing you need to understand is they are not police officers. They are not law enforcement. They are not officers of the court. They are county employees, and that is it. They have no right to invoke indigent circumstance or anything like that. Even if they have a police officer with them, you do not have to let them in your door unless they have a search warrant signed by a judge or a court order signed by a judge. Often what they will do is print these documents off, fill out the information, and hand them to you without a judge's signature to see if you will let them in the door. Don't do that. Protect your rights. You have a Fourth Amendment right under the Constitution to be secure from unlawful searches and seizures. Read the warrant, make sure it's signed. Read the court order, make sure it's signed. If it's not, you certainly have the option of not cooperating with them, just asking them to leave. That is certainly your option. Make them get the court order if that's what you want to do. My personal experience, and I'll put a link right here to my exposure to these people, I didn't let them in my house. I let the deputy who isn't there to create a case to get money in his budget, I let him do a walkthrough and do a well child check, but I didn't let the DHR agents into my house. Now, I had nothing to hide. I just didn't feel the need to justify myself as a parent. That's my right. What I did do is I allowed my kids to step outside and talk to them. I allowed them to interview my child. I signed releases so they could talk to my children's doctors in my schools and verify that my kids were safe and all right. Largely, the majority of men and women who work for children's services are good people who just want to keep children safe. But there are those bad seeds that are just there to open a case so they can justify a departmental budget and keep their job. And it's hard to know who's coming to your door. But do your best to be reasonable and cooperate to the best of your judgment. I'm not going to tell you how to handle this situation exactly. I'm just telling you what I did. Now, as I stated, you don't have to let them in the door. They're going to tell you 100 that you have to let us in the door, blah, 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 and try to create excuses for why you're doing it. The police might try to intimidate you. Stand on your Fourth Amendment rights. You do not have to let them in the door, period. Unless they have that search warrant or court order. Cooperate to the best of your ability in their investigation to get them off your back. Let them talk to your kids' schools, let them talk to your kids' doctors. If they want to talk to references, that your friends and stuff like that, let them talk to them. But the important thing to take away from this is, do not let them trample on your rights. If they get into your home, they are going to find a reason to open a case. There is no law to what they do. It's just how they perceive the situation. So if they walk in and you have 2 plates in your sink, well, their perception is you haven't washed dishes in days and you're a bad parent. Your house is filthy. And bam, for 365 days, because you let them walk in the door, they can enter your home whenever they want to. Don't let yourself fall victim to that bullshit. The situation with little Sophie shows us some very ugly things about the Department of Human Resources and Child Services and CPS, whatever they call them in your area. Whatever they call them, there's a lot of problems with these agencies. Regulation is poor and spotty at best, and we have to protect our children from well-meaning government. It was Ronald Reagan that said the 7 most terrifying words are, "I'm from the government, I'm here to help." As always, folks, be decent to each other, because we're all in this together. God bless. Okay, guys, I totally caught that. It was 9 words, but hey, have fun with it. God bless, guys.